Well, thank you, Darren. Darren and all my colleagues in the Assembly team, now you know just how proud I must feel here today to be one of them. And I am extremely proud and rather delighted to address you here today once again. Feeling very proud, having held the seat of Aberconwy at the Assembly elections last May for the very first time since devolution for the same political party. And I intend to take it again next time. Why? The reality is that 18 years of Welsh Labour in government in Wales has repeatedly failed this nation, and it has failed my constituency. Council tax this year rising by another 4%, representing a massive average increase of 178% since 1997. In Aberconwy, a 230% increase in council tax payable by my pensioners, by my hard-working families. Fact, the highest proportion of take-home pay spent on council tax in the United Kingdom is here in Wales. And this is all at a time when we are seeing the withdrawal and demise of many of our vital public services, led by a rudderless Labour Welsh Government in Cardiff Bay, out of touch with communities and out of touch and depth with delivery. 1 in 5 public toilets, 2 pubs a week, all now closed. Many of our community centres, our village halls, libraries, our much valued local assets, now at serious risk of closure. In Conwy, bin collections reduced to a 4-weekly cycle. That's once in 4 weeks, and it's already causing our families, our pensioners, misery and dismay. More rubbish accumulating on our streets. And when I say streets, I'm talking about the streets in the Conwy Valley, Llandudno, the jewel in the crown of Welsh tourism resorts. And it's not fair, it is shameful. Increased fly tipping. So it is no surprise then that our householders feel that they are simply paying more and receiving less under a Welsh Labour government. Welsh Labour simply do not get local government, but we do. They do not understand localism. We do, and if you look over the border in England, it is working effectively, led by a Conservative government. They do not understand localism, often neglecting the voices of our local people. They know best how they want to improve the communities in which they live. Over the past 5 years, in holding the role of Shadow Cabinet Secretary for Local Government, was Minister, Shadow Minister. They keep changing the titles, but I'm afraid they don't get any better. I have wholeheartedly scrutinised, challenged and exposed the failings of a Welsh Labour government in disarray, a rudderless ship which lacks direction at its highest echelons. 4 Welsh Labour ministers have we seen off. In just over 5 years, they have held the portfolio for local government, passing it around like you pass a parcel at a birthday party. All failing to even grasp the basics of our collaboration agenda, conjuring up a model of reform that would have seen our local services centralised like never before. And more importantly, riding roughshod over established community boundaries. And now a complete U-turn, as we hurtle towards again a new model of local government. A reform that will see an additional tier of regional working, increased bureaucracy, and, once again, uncosted, no financial assessment, no idea of whether there will be any efficiency savings, local government reform for the sake of it. They haven't got a clue as to how democracy and accountability will be maintained. Welsh Labour, however, do excel in one thing. They are very good at wasting our taxpayers' money and our money, spending 1.6 million on council propaganda newspapers, over 1.5 billion pounds cost to our taxpayers in Wales for Welsh Labour local authority PFI building schemes. that in reality have a base value of just £308 million. You couldn't make this up. And for all their talk on support for the most vulnerable and poor in our communities, Plaid Cymru and Labour in local government have spent £5.5 million fighting against equal pay entitlements over 10 years. I have people in my constituency, one of my constituents, a dinner lady, £800 they've owed her for 9 years. They have spent thousands fighting her. Fighting against equal pay entitlements submitted by our hard-working frontline women, many on the lowest pay bands. So these councils preferring to fund legal disputes rather than handing that money over to those who have worked for it. They are entitled to it, and it is their money. Such is the hypocrisy of Welsh Labour. But let's not just blame Welsh Labour. Previously, over the 18 years, propped up by Plaid Cymru and the Lib Dems. And here we go again, this time held up by Plaid Cymru and one Lib Dem. Dinner ladies, lollipop ladies, social workers. This money is rightfully theirs, and it is shameful that the Welsh Labour government is not demanding that those people are paid now. Today, as I stand here, there are 557 outstanding claims owed to these women in Wales. So when they tell you that it's the Welsh Labour Party who care for the impoverished and the vulnerable, I'd say this: that is not the truth. This money has been outstanding, it is owed to these women, and I and my Welsh Conservative Assembly group will keep calling for this money until that money is put back in their pockets where it belongs. This is 47 years after the Equal Pay Act came into being. That is Welsh Labour for you. Welsh Conservatives value local government, and we promote the meaningful devolution of power back to our communities and to our people. As Assembly members, we know too that just so many of our constituents, local government and the delivery of their vital services means a damn sight more than it does of the inner workings of the Cardiff Bay bubble and the Welsh Labour government. Welsh Conservatives will continue standing up for our residents, fighting hard for the delivery of efficient, consistent and high-quality essential services. And, conference, friends, we will seize the opportunity that May the 4th will bring. It is time for a new vision, a Welsh Conservative vision, and one that is not afraid and that isn't unable to deliver. I am extremely proud of our Welsh Conservative Party local government manifesto, and I am even more proud of the record of our Welsh Conservative councillors across Wales. Too many to name, but who are already playing their part in Cabinet, leading by example, and others who work hard in holding Plaid Cymru and Labour-led authorities to account with robust scrutiny and financial challenge, standing up for those they represent and for whom they serve. And I have to, ladies and gentlemen, here today, I have to pay tribute, though, to one Welsh Conservative councillor, a true epitome of true Conservative values, serving his community with diligence, enthusiasm and commitment. And he has done this for nearly 4 decades. But sadly, he is standing down in 6 weeks' time. Congratulations, well done, and thank you, Councillor Jeff James, MBE. I think you deserve that after 38 years of being a very loyal member to your wards and constituency, but also to our party. Thanks, Jeff. Now, we have a new generation of councillors, ready, willing and able candidates, pounding the streets now, prepared to empower local communities and willing to fight for their residents across the nation after decades of managed decline by Welsh Labour and Plaid Cymru. We have a clear and determined vision to provide a local government agenda that will respect our council taxpayers, will support our frontline workers, and will put localism back in the hands of our people. We will oppose costly and unnecessary local government reform. We will tackle waste and bureaucracy to keep council tax down, putting that money back into the pockets of our hard-working families and pensioners, because that's where it belongs. And we will follow the model set by Monmouthshire, increasing transparency, publishing details of all council spending online, empowering our residents to know how their money is spent and on what. And we will safeguard services for those who are our most vulnerable in Welsh society, including our older people. All this whilst creating a brighter future for generations, supporting schools and empowering our children to grow, to learn and to succeed. And yes, conference, friends, candidates, voters, we will ensure that your bins are collected at least fortnightly. So, if you want local government that believes in the sound delivery of your vital services, if you want localism and a voice in your own local authority, your town or community council, if you believe in democratic accountability, financial probity and transparency on the spend of your council tax, then on May the 4th, vote Welsh Conservative Party candidate ymgeisydd Plaid Gadwadol Cymru. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you.